So there are obligations then to work politically for justice in the world in which we live, since so much is determined by politics and political decisions.
Yes, well, it's determined by the way laws are made, and so it's very important whom we vote into office and try to make sure that we have people uh, developing our political system in such a way that we reverse the situation of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. We need to build into our economic system structures that will move the wealth from the rich to the poor. Now, that's a huge undertaking because none of us likes to admit that I am taking anything from any other person. And yet, when you look at your life and look at how the system works for you, you may find out that that system works very well, bringing you more wealth and taking wealth away from poor people in our own country, but even more the disparity of wealth throughout the world, where the U.S. has far more than we have a right to. And so we need to investigate and become aware of how the structures are designed. And it's an obligation that was taught to us in Vatican Council II. And then later in the Synod of 1971, there was a Synod on justice in the world. And that's where we learned that no one has a right for what's beyond their need when others lack the barest necessity. And that's a clear Catholic teaching that we have to try to live up to and find the way to reverse the direction that wealth goes in our country and in the world, where a few get richer and the majority become poorer.
It seems that many Catholics and other Christians just focus on one issue, whereas Cardinal Bernardine was known for his expression, the seamless garment of life issues, right? So we need to look at all issues concerning the dignity of life and the people's right to life at all moments of human existence.
It's not a one issue situation. When you're trying to work against violence, well, certainly you work against the violence of abortion, but you also need to work against the violence of the structures, which are destroying people all the time, every day, every minute of every day. And it's very clear that our obligation is to change structures of political structures, economic structures that work to the detriment of the poor and make them work in such a way that they benefit the poor and help the poor to escape poverty. especially that absolute poverty where you don't even have access to the basic necessities for full human life.
So the threat of nuclear annihilation, and we might say the death penalty, all of the, and even the ecological destruction of nature, which is threatening life on this planet, all of those would be part of that seamless garment of life issues that we need to work on.
Oh yes, you can. That's absolutely true. You can take these teachings and look around the world in which we live and how it's structured, and you'll find many different paths that we can follow in order to change the structures and the variety of structures that bring violence and death to the poor especially.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's going to happen in my life, it's going to happen because I make some changes in myself. And so I try to really listen to what I'm saying and try to live up to it. And it does require constant monitoring to make sure you're not slipping into a pattern where you just take it for granted that you have more and have all that you need all the time. And so it takes careful spiritual nurturing of yourself to move in the direction that will change these structures and bring about a peace and just world for every person on the planet.
So Christians, Catholics, and other Christians who are reading the Bible, especially the Gospel, and meditating on Jesus' teachings and actions would seem to be fundamental to developing the kind of spirituality which can lead to work for justice.
Yeah, action for the poor and attempts to change the structures that make people poor. These are the very essence of the gospel, according to the Synod of 1971. Right. And we need to do that, work that into our lives so that we do action for justice and transformation, bring about transformation of the structures that cause people to be poor. That has to become our mode of living in order to truly follow the gospel and to live up to the Beatitudes.